From deep in the heart of Texas, it's SeaWorld's All-Star Lone Stars Celebration. Hosted by Patrick Duffy, with special guest host Marie Osmond. Starring Natalie Cole.
In this morning's session, failed to produce agreement on Mr. Reagan's proposal to eliminate government agricultural subsidies by the year 2000. Among the things on which they did agree, the need to offer debt relief to the poorest countries of Africa.
Is going to win the next election? Over my live body.
From the Pentagon is not their idea of how to spend the president's last few months in office. Bill Plant, CBS News.
In the interest of ensuring that the ongoing procurements of the department are free from question.
Patrick Duffy.
Hi. Now let me start out by clearing up the question, where in the world am I? I am standing on San Antonio, which is in Texas.
Appropriations Subcommittee, Bill Chappell, who says he was only doing what every congressman does.
He wants to do everything he can to be sure that his constituent has a fair chance at the bidding process.
But that does not explain why Chappell forced the Army to spend $24 million on an artillery fire control system it didn't want, or the Navy to spend $30 million to outfit ships with anti-submarine equipment it didn't want. Neither product is manufactured in Chappell's district. This Army memo, disclosed by the publication Defense
Brady on the controversial move toward free trade between the United States.
Proves that Sergeant's new fast-acting flea and tick collars kill 3.5 times more fleas in the first 6 hours than the other leading collar.
I can't keep up.
And Sergeant's new fast-acting collar keeps on.
Glut now offers an attractive new design, plus fuel injection and a 660 powertrain warranty.
And
the world's best-selling car just keeps looking better all the...
Don't have to be a big problem. Not with...
meet some exciting new friends. What's your name? Steven. It's nice to meet you, Steven. Have you ever met a dolphin before? No, this is your first time? Starbuck meets Steven. Steven Starbuck. You know what? I've got a secret to tell you about Starbuck. Did you know that he's ticklish? He is. He's real ticklish. You want to help me tickle him? Okay. Watch this. Now, we got to kind of sneak up on him. Now, Steven, his ticklish spot is going to be right there in front of his dorsal fin, okay? You set? Here we go. Let's see. It's about right there. Can you reach it? You got it. That's it. Watch out, Steven! This is my thing. We can know it. Let's start and it's time for our new friend to go. And Steven, you know how we say goodbye? We always wave. So why don't you give a big wave goodbye to Starbuck? Give him a nice big wave. There.
Steven certainly made some new friends, wouldn't you? Right now, I'd like to point out that watching creatures with big fins go whipping along is, it's not an unusual experience for Texans, although the big fins that they're used to seeing are usually over the rear wheels of certain big cars, right? And here to tell us about one is my friend Natalie Cole.
You may think I'm fooling, for the
Thanks, Natalie. That was wonderful. You know, everything in Texas is big. Do you see that entrance over there? Now, did they make it that big so that Shamu could pass through it? You decide after Dennis Weaver tells us the story of Shamu's big move.
Shamu's big move to Texas was exactly that. A big, complex operation that mobilized the most experienced marine animal transport experts in the country. Starting in SeaWorld in San Diego in the early morning hours, the operation commenced with Shamu swimming into a heavy canvas sling. The crane then lowered Shamu into a heavy steel transport unit. Ice was added to maintain the water at a constant 45 degrees Fahrenheit. Then it was off to San Diego's Lindbergh Field, where they lifted Shamu into a 747 jumbo jet for the 2.5 hour flight to San Antonio. Shamu's arrival was the first of many subsequent arrivals of sea lions, dolphins, penguins, coral reef fish, and even flamingos. Transporting animals to one of the world's largest marine life show places was a huge task, a modern-day Noah's Ark lasting 2 months. On Shamu's arrival in San Antonio, he was welcomed by enthusiastic Texans and escorted by a police convoy. After 6 hours of travel, he was placed into his new home and swam around exploring every nook and cranny. It was time for everybody concerned to relax. Shamu, one of the biggest killer whale stars in the world and new citizen of Texas, had arrived.
SeaWorld's All-Star Lone Star Celebration, sponsored by Eastman Kodak Company. Introducing Kodacolor Gold Film. Kodacolor Gold Film. Show your true colors. Coming up, Restless Heart joins Wheels where the rockers really roll, and George Strait salutes some great Texas heroes.
Introducing Kodacolor Gold 100.
I see your true colors shining through. See your true colors shining through.
Kodacolor Gold 100 gives you the most accurate colors, the truest colors of any print film.
Don't be afraid to let them show.
A new Kodacolor Gold.
Your true colors.
I don't know what chicken. Hey, Cookie, more pecani sauce. Yeah. This ain't paste pecani sauce. What's the difference? Cookie, paste pecani sauce is made in San Antonio with fresh vegetables and spices by people who know what pecani sauce is supposed to taste like.
This stuff's made in New York City?
New York City?
Get a rope.
Pick up the original pecani sauce. Pick up the pace.
The shredded wheat nutrition in Kellogg's Mini Wheats helps me win the race. But the kid in me thinks the tasty side takes first place.
The data shows the shredded wheat is very good for me. But the kid in me finds the frosted side a delicious discovery.
Kellogg's Frosted Mini Wheat. Shredded wheat nutrition you want as a grown-up. Delicious frosting the kid in you just won't give up.
The nutrition in Kellogg's Mini Wheats deserves a spotlight. But the kid in me thinks the delicious frosting is really out of sight.
You know what smooth is? You gotta stop and taste the High Life. Smooth is the sensation of cracking open a cold Miller High Life. Smooth is the anticipation of that first mouthful hitting the back of your parched throat. Smooth is the feeling of a beer that goes down easy, never bitter.
Stop and taste the High Life.
Smooth is knowing how good that first Miller High Life tasted, and that it's time to enjoy another.
Home. To Annie and Frank, it's a place where her uptown daughter and his country kid sometimes find it hard to be one family.
Give up.
But to a lonely, disturbed veteran, it's a place to which he believes he can never return.
When I came back from Vietnam, I'd forgotten how to speak their language.
Can Charlie help him find a home he thought he'd lost forever?
I know I did something bad to him. I made him cry.
Tom Wopat and Susan Hubley in Blue Skies, Monday at 8.
If you have an intravenous drug habit, the time to get help is now. By sharing needles, you're at a high risk of getting AIDS. Get the facts. Get help. Don't get AIDS.
Welcome back to SeaWorld's All-Star Lone Star Celebration. You know, kids all over America are into it, and so are some exciting experts at the Meadow Amphitheater. They're about to give new meaning to the expression rock and roll. The music's rocking, the cast is rolling with fantastic skating, daredevil biking, and spine-chilling motorcycling. So look out, here comes Wheels.
Your head feels when you're flying on wheels. Strange satisfaction as part of the action. On wheels, on wheels.
I've got an uncontrollable urge to hear that song. Do you know which one I mean?
Of course, your uncontrollableness. The national anthem of wheeldom.
Yes, I want to hear Wheels. And I want to hear it done by that really terrific group who made it famous, Restless Heart.
Some people are born to live alone and go about life that way. Their home is a long stretch of blacktop, and every day is just another day. They like moving, staying on the run, and trying to make the world stand still. White lines, the city limit signs, and life is like an automobile. Rolling down the highway, qualified time, that's the only way to be. Wheels, stay under me, stay under me. Wheels, stay under me, stay under me. It's the freedom that we all want to know, and it's an obsession with some. To keep the world in your rearview mirror while you try to run down the sun. And it's a knowing when you're getting where you're going, you're never there against your will. White lines, the city limit signs, and life is like an automobile. Rolling down the highway, qualified time, that's the only way to feel. Wheels, stay under me, stay under me. Wheels,
Wheels have changed a lot since the days of Pecos Bill. Now, he's the legendary daddy of all Texas cowboys. They say he used mountain lions for saddle horses, lightning streaks for his lariat, and kept tarantulas for pets. And he was big. How big was he? Take a look at his boots. They're sitting right here in San Antonio, and they're 3 stories high, which is a pretty tall story in itself. Yeah, Texans love to brag about their state, and if everything tends to be a little bigger than life, well, that's just their Texas pride shining through. You listen to this Texas beauty.
Hello, I'm Jacqueline Smith, and I'm from Houston, where a lot of rich Texans live. In fact, I know one who was so rich that he traded in his new car when the ashtrays got full. Didn't have to wear glasses because his car had a prescription windshield. Flew his own plane inside his own home. Had a swimming pool so big there was a lighthouse for swimmers who got lost. Speaking Texan, I'm Jacqueline Smith.
And we have another famous Texan who lives right here in the hill country of San Antonio. He's to come what Pecos Bill was to cowboying. Big. He's George Strait here with his ace in the hole band. Yeah.
She looked so much like a lady, but she was so much like a child. The devil when she held me close, an angel when she smiled. She always held it deep inside, but somehow I always knew she'd go away when the grass turned green and the sky turned baby blue. And baby blue was the color of her eyes. Baby blue, like the Colorado sky. Like a breath of spring she came and left, and I still don't know why. So here's to you and whoever holds my baby blue tonight. She brought colors to my life that my eyes had never touched. When she taught me how to care, I never cared so much. I try not to think of her, but I fall asleep and do, and drift off where the grass is green and the sky is baby blue. And baby blue was the color of her eyes. Baby blue, like the Colorado sky. Like a breath of spring she came and left, and I still don't know why. So here's to you and whoever holds my baby blue tonight. Baby blue was the color of her eyes. Baby blue, like the Colorado sky. Like a breath of spring she came and left, and I still don't know why. So here's to you and whoever holds my baby blue tonight. Baby blue was the color of her eyes. Baby blue, like the Colorado sky. Baby blue was the color of her eyes. Baby blue, like the Colorado sky. Baby blue was the color of her eyes. Baby
The eyes of Texas have looked to the sky lots of times. As a kid, I grew up fascinated with the sky above my home. It was filled with the activity of Lackland, Kelly, Brooks, and Randolph Air Force bases. I'm standing next to the statue of astronaut Ed White of San Antonio. He was the first American to walk in space and a victim of our first space tragedy. This statue is one of the 18 famous Texans, past and present, who make up this beautiful Texas walk. Among the 18 are Nobel Prize physicist Robert Woodrow Wilson, Pulitzer Prize writer Catherine Ann Porter, Babe Diedrichson Zaharias, one of the greatest athletes of all time, United States Presidents Dwight David Eisenhower and Lyndon Baines Johnson, the last great Comanche war chief, Quanah Parker, Admiral Chester Nimitz, Commander-in-Chief of the U.S. Fleet, Sam Houston, Commander-in-Chief of the Army of the Republic of Texas, and later its President. Texas has a tradition of heroes from Sam Houston to astronaut Ed White. That tradition began with this man, Colonel William Barrett Travis, the commander of the Alamo. The Alamo, here in San Antonio, has become a symbol of courage in the face of overwhelming odds. 189 Texicans battling 5,000 men of General Santa Anna's army died there in the fight for Texas independence. A shining example of bravery and determination, the world will always remember the Alamo and its heroes.
Next, Fabian sings at our water ski party, and Marie Osmond does the sequel to Dirty Dancing, The Penguin Hop.
Thank you, Aaron. Okay, Josie, would you please read yours?
My summer vacation. We left for 2 weeks to go to Yellowstone. That was Saturday. Then Daddy's money got stolen and we had to come home. That was Sunday.
It could happen to you right here in the U.S., so don't carry cash. Carry American Express traveler's checks. Don't leave home without them.
If you're an American Advantage member, you can get where you're going even faster, because every time you fly an American and rent a Hertz car, you can earn 500 miles in your Advantage program. Of course, you'll also get all the great services Hertz offers, along with low daily and weekly rates on a whole range of cars, like the Escort, Tempo, and T-Bird. And now you can get a luxurious Lincoln Continental for just $44.90 a day. So as soon as you land, take off with Hertz.
You could give me the San Diego Bay full of ordinary air fresheners, and I will not take them for the 1 can of Lysol spray. Ordinary air fresheners just cover up the odors and fake you out. And why have that when you can have Lysol spray that kills germs on the surface and cleans the air? Lysol has a distinct odor of clean. It cleans the air.
I confess, I can't stop. I just can't stop. It smells so good, I just can't stop spraying.
Lysol Fresh Scent smells as good as it works.
Here on Warren Davis's farm, they believe that fresh ingredients give you better taste. Well, Kraft sure buys that. So Kraft buys all of Warren's eggs. They go straight into Kraft Real Mayonnaise, along with the juice from sun-ripened lemons and select spices.
Know why we go to all this trouble? Simple. Kraft knows when you start fresh, it tastes better. Kraft Real Mayonnaise. Because fresh tastes better. You know it.
SeaWorld's All-Star Lone Star celebration will continue.
Monday.
Happy birthday, dear Stephanie.
Stephanie is getting older, but is she getting better?
If I keep getting older like this, where will I be? In a home for people whose arms do this?
And when a little skinhead plays both sides against the middle, there will be hell to pay on Eisenhower and Lutz, Monday.
Next on West 57, high energy and hot rhythm.
Rhythm is gonna get you.
Miami Sound Machine on West 57. Next.
This is CBS.
Integrity. Nowadays, you might wonder where that word went. I guess it's just a little harder to find now than it was about 50 years ago when William Dillard was starting his department store. Yes, Mr. Dillard knew all about integrity. A fair price, a fair profit. Today, there are Dillards across the land, but you know what? Mr. Dillard still runs them with integrity.
Last spring weekend weather at 10.
Welcome back to SeaWorld's All-Star Lone Star Celebration, where Dennis Weaver wants to tell us about some birds who may not know how to fly, but they sure know how to steal your heart away.
Everybody loves penguins. One of the world's most intriguing and most entertaining birds is native to the southern hemisphere. They're found only from the Galapagos Islands at the equator to Antarctica. They're swift and acrobatic swimmers. Some spend up to 75% of their time in the ocean, diving for food and playing like school children. In 1972, the National Science Foundation asked SeaWorld to establish the first breeding colony of Antarctic penguins. This year, they opened their newest penguin exhibit here in San Antonio, which was designed to recreate the penguins' natural habitat. The Texas penguins were ready and eager to visit their new home and seemed delighted with it. The air temperature of 36 degrees and the falling snow tickled their fancy. And when they entered the water, 45 degrees was just right. These penguin exhibits are living laboratories of scientists around the world who come to study everything from breeding to communication. And when most people look at penguins, the first thought to come to mind is, hey, these fellers look like they're always dressed for the prom.
There's a dance from the Antarctic that isn't to be missed, more elegant than anyone, and more fun than a twist. And when at last you see it, you know you won't refuse. All you need is your tuxedo and a pair of dancing shoes. Hop in place and turn about. Move your belly in and out. Then you'll know without a doubt you're doing the penguin hop. Shake your tail just once or twice. Slide your feet across the ice. Black and white looks very nice for doing the penguin hop. Going under zero is normal. When you go in, just remember that everything is strictly formal. Step to this Antarctic tool, you'll agree that it is cool. Once you try it, I know you'll be doing the penguin hop. Doing the penguin hop. Doing the penguin hop. Going under zero is normal. When you go in, just remember that everything is strictly formal. Everything is strictly formal. Thousands dressed in formal wear, hopping in the frosty air. On the rocks, it's daring air for doing the penguin hop. Step to this Antarctic tool, you'll agree that it is cool. Once you try it, I know you'll be doing the penguin hop. Doing the penguin hop. Yeah!
Marie, even your brothers couldn't top the Roaring 20s penguin hop. You know, it's awfully warm out here. Shouldn't you hop back to the snow and ice? Yeah. Wish I was going with you. But right now, we go from the 20s to the 50s as some of the country's top water skiers take us back to that good old rock and roll.
Beach blanket ski party. Beach blanket ski party. Beach blanket ski party. Beach blanket family for beach blanket ski party. I got down to the country door. I'm getting through the locomotion. The treats in Bristol are sharp as a bristle. When they do the Bristol stop. Ba 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 ba.
For her perfume,
Now, guys, let's keep showing off of Barbara Ann. Whoa! One more! Oh, you know those dedications of Barbara Ann just keep pouring in. So I want all you single guys out there in those single skis to keep on rolling and rock, rock, rock around the clock. Now I know that little lady's impressed because these guys have certainly done their best. And they've done it for Barbara Ann. It's Johnny Stingray! Uh-oh. Johnny Stingray's plan to sidetrack Barbara Ann may be temporarily delayed. Because look who he's run up against. It's the one and only rock and roll and heartthrob, Baby Ann!
I'll turn my loose. I'll turn my loose, I say. Oh yeah, today is gonna be the day. I want you all to understand. Now I am a man, so turn my loose. I'll turn my loose. I'll turn my loose, I say. Gonna rock and roll, long as the band's gonna play. I holler, I shout, I knock myself flat out, so turn my loose. I got some change in my pocket, and I'm raring to go. Taking some chick to the picture show, and when I see her home and with kiss good night, turn my loose, turn my loose. Go down the aisle. Turn my loose. Turn my loose, I say. Gonna rock and roll, long as the band's gonna play. I holler, shout, knock myself right out, so turn my loose. I got some change in my pocket, and now raring to go. Taking some chick to the picture show, and when I see her home and with kiss good night, turn my loose, turn my loose. Turn my loose. I'll turn my loose, I say. Oh yeah, today is gonna be the day. I want you all to understand. Now I am a man, so turn my loose. Thank you, guys.
Beach blankets, be party. Beach blankets, be party. Beach blankets, be party.
Yeah! Woo! Everyone's in the pool, they're having fun at a
beach party 61. Just done to 64 days done at a beach party 61. Oh yeah.
Come on, hit that beach ball.
One time,
Hit it.
skiing lake is one of the newest landmarks of Texas. This historic mission, San Jose, is one of the oldest. Hello, I'm Henry Cisneros, mayor of San Antonio. So I'm especially interested in the vital part the missions have played in the development of this city and in the state of Texas, politically, economically, and socially. Starting in the late 17th century, Franciscan friars began establishing the first of 38 missions. 5 of them ended up in San Antonio. The missions were more than just churches. They had living quarters for the Indians, a farm, a ranch, shops, orchards, a mill, a granary, educational facilities, military instruction, and a defense capability. Mission San Antonio de Valero is certainly an illustration of that. Most people know it by its other name, the Alamo, cradle of Texas liberty. These 5 missions along the Yanaguano, the San Antonio River, were the blocks upon which my city was built. Today, in religion, architecture, food, language, music, and 1,000 other ways, the threads of our Hispanic heritage are beautifully woven into the fabric that is this lovely city, San Antonio.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I think you'd agree that a mission as beautiful as San Jose is the perfect setting for a singing star as beautiful as Gloria Loring.
People wonder what love's about. I think I'm on my way to finding out. Feel it in your kiss. We were destined from the very first day to stay forever in every way. You're the someone I've always been, and it all comes down to this. One love, one heart, one hand in mine. You are the light that makes me shine. It's you I always hope to find. One love, one heart, one hand in mine. We'll stand together as the days go by, and we'll discover why the strong survive. I'm seeing why less is more. You're all I've been praying for. One love, one heart, one hand in mine. You are the light that makes me shine. It's you I've always hoped to find. One love, one heart, one hand. One love, one heart, one hand in mine. One love, one heart,
Thank you, Gloria. You know, Texas is a pretty special place. It's where you catch mosquitoes in rat traps, and rats in wolf traps, and wolves in bear traps, and bears you just don't even mess with. 9 Texas grapefruit make a dozen. The lemons are even bigger than the grapefruit, and you measure the size of a Texas fish by the distance between his eyes. Now, everything is the biggest or the best, and usually both, and if not, you just don't talk about it. Now, here's some more experts on the subject. Thank you very much for your support.
Hello, I'm Morgan Fairchild, and I'm from Dallas, Texas. You know, when you hear a Texan talk about his or her state, you don't call it exaggeration. You call it poetry. Take this lyrical example. If all the steers in Texas were one big steer, he could stand with his front feet in the Gulf of Mexico, his hind feet in the Hudson Bay, and punch a hole in the moon with his horns while his tail brushed the dust off the Aurora Borealis. Speaking Texan, honey, I'm Morgan Fairchild.
Hello, I'm John Hillerman. Although I may not sound like it, I'm from Denison, Texas. You've probably heard Texans are prone to overstatement. Let me assure you, that is an overstatement. Texans just have more and larger things to talk about. Did you know you can go to Holland, Malta, India, China, Ireland, Italy, Trinidad, Turkey, Crete, Palestine, Scotland, and Egypt? You can visit Jericho, Liverpool, London, Macedonia, Manchester, Tampico, Tokyo, Troy, Vienna, Warsaw, Tunis, Odessa, Paris, Petersburg, Plymouth, Rugby, Sparta, Sheffield, Stockholm, Athens, Belgrade, Cadiz, Canton, Caledonia, Delhi, Dorchester, Dresden, Dublin, Edinburgh, Oxford, Geneva, and Genoa. You can see them all without ever leaving the state of Texas. Speaking Texan, this is John Hillerman.
Boy, Clyde, you're doing fine. Hey!
Hey, Clyde, hey, check this out, huh? Patrick Duffy. Clyde, meet Patrick. Patrick, meet my friend Clyde. Just bend down there, shake hands.
Hey, buddy.
There you go.
Yeah. You know, I only get to do this once, but you get to shake hands with these guys every day, so I guess it's not really a job to you, is it?
No, it's not really a job, but it's a career. It's something we look forward to every day. Each and every day we spend a lot of time with our animals. I work with a lot of very special people. Some of us have degrees in marine biology, some in degrees in psychology, but we all have a commitment and desire to take care of these animals, keep them happy and healthy.
Okay, I got a question for your buddy, all right?
All right.
Okay. Clyde, let me have it straight. Is JR going to survive the shooting? What?
He's not talking. He's not talking.
Come on, how about a clue? Give me a little something, a little clue.
Give him a clue. Give him a clue. You going to give him a clue? You're not going to give him a clue.
He's not going to give him.
What is it? What? What's the problem? Tell me. You've got the wrong show. Our show's not Dallas. Our show is Spooky Kooky Castle. He's not interested in finding oil or controversy. He's interested in finding his Uncle Smedley's will.
Find what? Uncle who?
His Uncle Smedley's will. Wait, just a second. I think I hear the music now.
Hi there. Hi, you guys. I'm the butler of this spooky castle. And today we're expecting company for the first time in many, many years, as they're gathering here for the reading of dearly departed Uncle Smedley's last will and testament. But if I have my way about it, the will won't be read. Ah, that would be the door. Enter Master Seymour! Seymour, after such a long journey, you must be simply exhausted.
Anybody home? Now remember,
welcome to the castle! Come meet your cousin Clyde, Clyde Seymour, Seymour Clyde. Shake, gentlemen. We must find the wheel!
Coming up, a Tex-Mex fiesta at San Antonio's famous Riverwalk. And some splashy killer whale thrills with Shamu.
Nothing's better than American cooking. And America's cooking with Wesson.
Let's eat. Don't miss Aunt Betty's chicken.
So crispy.
Great.
Juicy, too. Really.
Wow. Who made fries?
I can't imagine what she does to make these things so light.
Save room for pie.
You ought to visit us more often, Charlie. Oh, what a meal.
America's cooking with all-natural Wesson. Vegetable, corn, and sunflower oils. With every bite, you know you're frying right.
In the 1988 Olympic Games, something special will happen. Every American athlete will bring home the gold. Gold-tipped, long-lasting Kodak batteries. The official batteries of the 1988 Olympic Games.
This 4th of July, compare the taste of Pepsi to Coke Classic.
Pepsi.
Just go to an America's Choice taste test booth and let your taste decide. Of course, most people choose Pepsi.
Pepsi.
Which means the most challenging part of this challenge is getting to the booth. Pepsi, America's Choice.
You've got this all wrong. You want to make news of the cereal today, you need a gimmick. Putting a whole banana inside a little bran biscuit, stuff like that. These are just flakes. I don't think I've tasted anything like it. Simple, light, it's really very good. Well, how about that? A cereal that doesn't need a gimmick.
Kellogg's Corn Flakes.
Corn Flakes?
Taste them again for the first time.
SeaWorld's All-Star Lone Star celebration will continue.
This is CBS.
Every Sunday, early morning, we make Sunday more at home. Look to the light when you need to know. We're your paper, the light of your day. San Antonio, we're your paper.
You know, Auto Shack customers are pretty special. I mean, they take great pains to do a job just right, so they know exactly what they want. That's why we carry so many parts and guarantee over 42,000 of them for as long as you own your car. It's also why we price them so low, because you got to admire a man who will tackle a job like putting in his own water pump or starter. And you got to give a guy like that exactly what he wants. The right part at the best price.
Lightning plays havoc with the U.S. Open at 10.
SeaWorld's All-Star Lone Star celebration. Sponsored by Kraft, which brings you good food. and good food ideas. Kraft.
Every spring, this city throws a rip-roaring fiesta. It started in 1891 as the Battle of the Flowers. 32 years later, it became the Fiesta San Jacinto, commemorating the famous Battle of 1832. And in 1959, they changed its name to the Fiesta San Antonio. No more flower throwing, just confetti. In 1896, they crowned a king and queen of the fiesta, and through the years, more and more fiesta queens were added. There are lots of activities, including eating, celebrating, face painting, shrieking, riding, stomping, and several kinds of fiddling. And it's all topped off by the parades. The Battle of the Flowers Parade, the Fiesta Flambeau Rey Feo Parade, and the illuminated Fiesta River Parade, which features colorful floats passing through the famous Riverwalk section of San Antonio. This beautiful area is constantly being expanded, and it's given the city a unique focus and a new spirit. And speaking of spirit, floating our way is one of the pioneers of the Tex-Mex sound that we love so much. Here he is, ladies and gentlemen, Trini Lopez.
Thank you so much, everybody. What a crowd you are. You're fantastic. You know, here in Texas, there's a tradition of Hispanic music. It has a lot of names like Conjunto, Tejanos, Norteños, Mex-Tex, just to mention a few. But each generation brings something new, and the tradition goes on, of course, with terrific young artists such as this one. So, ladies and gentlemen, how about a nice hand for Patsy Torres?
Fiestas are fun for everyone, and kids have a fiesta wherever they are. Hey, you know, we seem to have lost one of the kids. Willie Tyler, have you seen Lester?
You know, Marie, I've been looking for him all day. Have you guys seen Lester? Where? Let me know! Let me know! Oh, let me know! Oh, come on. Let me know! Let me out! Oh, let me out! Thank you very much. Thank you. How you doing, gang? Tell you what I want to do. Let's talk about your family tree, partner. A family tree? That's right. I was born in the woods and worked my way out. I'm just off the old block. Okay, I understand your relatives grew up underneath the ground. Is that right? That's right. What were they called? Roots. Roots. I like that one there. Roots. I saw you in the schoolyard the other day, right? Like, you threw a stick at a young lady. But that's wrong. Very reliable source. You were in the schoolyard, you threw a stick at a young lady. That's wrong. Well, what happened? I was laid in there and the arm flew off. The tide is coming in, man. The tide is coming in. Oh, here comes the tide. Hang on, gang. I gotta go see Shamu. Hang on. Ready? Where? I think I'll go on a diet. I don't really need to lose any weight. I'm gonna hang around a lot of fat people, and I think I should kind of relate. For every tick there is a top. For everything there is a dong. Don't get me wrong. It's just a song. Don't get me wrong. It's just a song. All right. Okay. Thank you. Look out, I gotta go see Shamu. Hang on. Let me out of here.
Aren't kids great? Birth is the greatest miracle on this earth. To be able to witness it is rare and wonderful. It happens here all the time. Now that's a baby, and I don't mean maybe. His name is Lone Star, and he's a harbor seal pup born here a month ago. Over the past few weeks, Lone Star has feasted on mother's milk and fattened up by about 50 pounds. What a better way to spend the day, huh? Catching rays, hanging out, and getting that special nuzzle from your mommy's muzzle. Did you know that penguins often lay 2 eggs, and most of the time one of them is completely ignored? But not here. SeaWorld collects penguin eggs from Antarctica, the Falkland Islands, and other exotic places, and brings them back so they all get a chance to hatch. And now it's time to welcome the newcomers to Club Penguin, where the shakes are the best in town. Spin up some cream, smelts, herring, and some vitamins, and you've got a classic penguin milkshake. With 47 dolphin babies born at SeaWorld's parks over the years, how do you choose which baby is the cutest? A couple of years ago, an event took place at our park in Florida, the birth of a killer whale. And for the first time in history, underwater cameras were there to record that very special moment.
Here it is.
The mother received special attention and constant observation by the animal care staff to assure a safe birth, natural bonding, and the survival of baby Shamu, who is now nearly 3 years old. This one-of-a-kind pool here at Shamu Stadium has a capacity of 7 million gallons of man-made water. That makes it one of the largest marine mammal habitats in the world. Make that 6,999,950 gallons. I think Shamu is trying to tell us that the show is about to begin.
Killer whales are unique. Huge, from 22 to 30 feet long, weighing as much as 18,000 pounds. Their black and white coloration is a disruptive pattern disguising the actual shape, possibly confusing some would-be prey. Shamu, like all whale and dolphins, actually is an air-breathing mammal. He breathes through a blowhole on top of his head. There's no disputing the killer whale has earned the name killer. Right now, Shamu is showing us his 44 conical teeth, designed for ripping and tearing. He can kill and eat a shark.
Okay. Enough of that, guys. How about a big wave for everyone, please?
You by surprise. You have to reach inside your heart for what we have today. So we say, celebrate.
Texas pride is really the greatest pride of all. When someone says, Barbara, where are you from? I live in Tennessee. I love being a Tennessean, but I always say, I was born in Texas. Well, I got to tell you, we like to brag because we have so much to brag about from Texas. We have something else to brag about now. We now have Shamu, and we're proud of it. And I want to tell you something else I like. Don't mess with Texas.
Coming up next, Natalie Cole falls in love, and Waylon Jennings tributes the makers of Texas music.
Here on Warren Davis's farm, they believe that fresh ingredients give you better taste. Well, Kraft sure buys that, so Kraft buys all of Warren's eggs. They go straight into Kraft Real Mayonnaise, along with the juice from sun-ripened lemons and select spices. Know why we go to all this trouble? Simple. Kraft knows when you start fresh, it tastes better. Kraft Real Mayonnaise, because fresh tastes better.
You know it.
Time for Wrigley Spearmint Gum.
Wrigley Spearmint? What is Wrigley Spearmint?
Well, it's pure chewing satisfaction.
Data, please. Cool and refreshing. Chewing enjoyment goes on and on.
Analysis?
Wrigley Spearmint is pure chewing satisfaction.
Yeah. So how come you never talked to me before?
Wrigley Spearmint is pure chewing satisfaction.
Hi, Grandpa Redenbacher. What's new?
Couple of things.
Hot caramel corn. Nacho. Where'd these come from?
Old family recipe. New family recipe.
Caramel and nacho snacks, new from Orville Redenbacher.
My dad's desk. Pledge kept it beautiful for 21 years. Now Enda says, build up. Come on, Pledge is self-cleaning. It cleans away old polish as you dust. Protects and cares for wood. Pledge, a fresh shine every time.
Some people think women don't know anything about cars, but some of us know as much as men, like the difference between a T-Bird and a Lincoln Continental. The T-Bird has a V6 fuel-injected engine, and the Continental has anti-lock disc brakes. Let's see what the guys know.
The T-Bird has 2 doors. The Continental has 4 doors. The T-Bird is $39.90 a day at Hertz. The Continental is $44.90.
I rest my case.
Do you think they'll renew our contracts?
Welcome back to SeaWorld's All-Star Lone Star celebration. You know, not only did they bring the ocean here to Texas, but they also brought a piece of Florida, the beautiful Cypress Gardens. A perfect setting for Natalie Cole to sing one of her dad's great love songs.
When I fall in love, it will be forever, or I'll never fall in love. In a restless world such as this is, love is ended before it's begun, and too many moonlight kisses seem to cool in the warmth of the sun. When I give my heart, it will be completely, or I'll never give my heart. No, no, no. And the moment I can feel that you feel that way too, is when I fall in love with you. And when I give my heart, leave. Oh, I'll never, ever give my heart. But the moment that I feel that you feel the same way too, and I hope you do, is when I fall in love. When I fall in love. When I fall in love with you. Till I fall in love with you. Till I fall in love with you. Hey, 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 hey. It'll be completely. It'll be so sweetly. I'm not gonna stop till I fall in love with you. Hey, I'm not gonna stop till I fall in love with you. No how, no way, no, no, no.
You hear that? That music's an example of the Texas sound. It's just one of the many famous rags by Scott Joplin. Ragtime became world famous and a turning point of popular music. But the Texas sound isn't like the Nashville sound, or the Detroit sound, or the Memphis sound. There are a lot of Texas sounds. And right from the beginning, Texans have always been known to do their own thing, and that goes double when it comes to music. Now, you take the early Texas blues, for instance. There was a folk blues by Henry Ragtime Texas Thomas.
When the blues come to Texas.
In the 20s, Texas Alexander did the old Texas special. After the Second World War, Aaron T-Bone Walker was turning out the new rhythm and blues sound, Texas style. In the late 50s, artists like Buddy Holly of Lubbock helped turn rhythm and blues into rock and roll. In the 60s, Texas gave the world another Joplin, Janis Joplin from Port Arthur.
For me and my Bobby,
Blind man.
In the 70s, Bobby Blue Bland kept the old Texas blues tradition alive. Rocking into the 80s with a Texas artist like them wild guys from El Paso, ZZ Top. There's also been a lot of country sounds from Texas. Tex Ritter of Nederland, Gene Autry from Tioga. They were two Texans who brought cowboy music to the silver screen. Then Hall County's Bob Wills and the Texas Playboys took that same cowboy music and made it swing. And in the 70s, clubs like Gillies in Pasadena became the focus for the Texas two-step and the urban cowboy music with artists like Mickey Gilley. And I got a few more friends who were part of Texas music. There's Mac Davis of Lubbock, whose Texas sound had a lot of influence on pop music. And Brownsville's Chris Christopherson, who went to Nashville and moved it a little bit closer to Texas.
Trailer for sale.
Then, of course, there's Roger Miller, who put a little Lone Star humor in his music, and he brought Fort Worth to Broadway with his Tony Award-winning Big River.
You picked a fine time to leave me, Lucy.
Kenny Rogers of Houston started with jazz, and then he moved to folk. Then he moved to country, and then to pop.
On the road again.
And then, of course, there's the old outlaw himself, Willie Nelson, whose Texas sound is known the world round. And if I told the truth, I guess I got a little bit of the outlaw blood in me myself. And I'll tell you where it comes from. From growing up in Texas, where you grow up thinking you're a little bit smarter and a little bit bigger and a little bit sassier than anybody else. And the other thing I got from growing up in West Texas was music. There was music in every house. People played and sang. There was music in church on Sunday. And there was music on the first full-time country radio station, KDAV in Lubbock. And that just goes to show you, you can take the music out of Texas, but you'll never take Texas out of me.
I love to hear them old twin fiddles. They can do more damage than a gun. Have you ever seen a cowboy on a dance floor? I'm convinced that's how the West was won. Were you there at the Dripping Springs reunion? For me, that's how it all began. It was me and Hank and Ernest, Tub, and Willie, there to win the battle of the band. I may sing my songs the whole world over. I may live in Tennessee. You can take the music out of Texas, but you'll never take Texas out of me. In New York City, get my big black hats in New Orleans, and even draw a crowd in London, England, and they all come in decked out in boots and jeans. I may sing my songs the whole world over. I may live in Tennessee. Take the music out of Texas, but you'll never take Texas out of me.
Hello, I'm Tom Landry, coach of the world-famous, never-beaten Dallas Cowboys. Some Yankees have been known to say that Texans brag a bit. But I'm a native of Mission, Texas, and I've never heard a Texan brag on our state. Never. You have my word for it, and that's the truth. Texas style. This is Tom Landry speaking Texan.
Hello, I'm Catherine Hellman, and I'm from Galveston, Texas. We Texans, no matter what our height, are famous for our tall stories. For instance, Texas oil fields have some derricks that are so high they're hinged in the middle and folded down at night, so the stars can get by. Speaking Texan, I'm Catherine Hellman.
Still to come, performances by Marie Osmond, George Strait, and Restless Heart, and a visit with some hungry-looking sharks.
You gotta stop and taste the high life. Take a hard-earned break every now and again. Stop and taste the high life. Kick back and drink it in. Spend some time just finding out what you're working for, what it's all about.
Miller High Life, brewed to be smooth, never bitter. Takes time to make, time to enjoy.
Stop and taste the high life. Taste the high.
Miller High Life.
Petrino, the news spread throughout the raisin business.
More raisins?
Now Kellogg's Kellogg's Raisin brand for even more raisins.
More raisins?
Raisin brokers, raisin shippers, and raisin raisers work furiously to meet the Kellogg's demand. It's been tough on some of us.
More raisins.
But it's been worth it, because now 2 scoops in Kellogg's Raisin brand means even more raisins than ever before.
More raisins.
Introducing Coca-Cola Gold 100.
I see your true colors shining through. See your true colors shining
Kodacolor Gold 100 gives you the most accurate colors, the truest colors of any print film.
So don't be afraid to let them show
A new Kodacolor Gold.
Thank you, Aaron. Okay, Josie, would you please read yours?
My summer vacation. We left for 2 weeks to go to Yellowstone. That was Saturday. Then Daddy's money got stolen and we had to come home. That was Sunday.
It could happen to you right here in the U.S., so don't carry cash. Carry American Express traveler's checks. Don't leave home without them.
SeaWorld's All-Star Lone Star celebration will continue.
Monday.
He grabbed me and he shoved me against the wall. He held my wrist. He raped me.
Oh, gee, Chris.
I feel dirty. Do you feel responsible?
What I see is a woman of great courage.
A very special Cagney and Lacey. Monday at 10.
This is CBS.
You're out of luck, Chuck.
Take a hop, Chop. Adios, roast.
At H-E-B, specially trained inspectors are always checking the quality of our meats, checking to make sure we trimmed away excess fat, trimmed away excess bone, checking to make sure our meat is trimmed just right. And if it's not,
Scram lamb.
See you around, Trout.
F-R-E-S-H-E-B.
Is your home a Nickelodeon home?
Nick. Dad's eating dinner, the dog's got his bone. I get it, that's the bone. Mom's at the table, dishing the food. Everybody's in a very good mood singing Nickelodeon. Nickelodeon. But this, what's the channel for kids? I don't know. Come on, tell me what it is. Nick, Nickelodeon.
Be like us, watch Nickelodeon on cable TV.
Red Hot Missions return home at 10.
SeaWorld's All-Star Lone Star celebration, sponsored by the Dentist's Choice for Fighting Cavities. Crest with Floristat. Available in 3 great cavity-fighting flavors, regular, mint, and cool mint gel.
Come here. There you go. Oh, aren't they cute? This is one of my favorite places in the park. Its official name is the Marine Mammal Pool, but a better name would be the Touching Feeding Place. As you can see, it's where kids of all ages, sizes, and shapes get a chance to feed the animals, just like the trainers do. And if they're lucky, they experience the thrill of touching these unique and wonderful new friends. It's great fun. There you go. But there's a more serious side to the care and feeding of marine animals. The veterinarians, trainers, and animal care staff start early, 5 or 5:30 in the morning. They have to. One of their first duties is to get the day's supply of fresh, frozen fish ready. In its first year, SeaWorld of Texas will purchase more than 1 million pounds of squid, herring, and mackerel for its hungry family. You know how health-conscious Americans have become. Well, these aquatic animals feel the same way. So vitamins and minerals are added to their diet to keep them nice and healthy. Through constant observation, the animal care staff can tell when an animal isn't feeling quite up to par. And the computerized medical records kept at the Animal Science Lab would probably put your own doctor's office to shame. The aim here is to provide plenty of fresh food, fresh air, or water as the case may be, and lots of exercise to keep everyone looking and feeling great. And speaking of looking great, Restless Heart wants to tell us about someone with the bluest eyes in Texas.
That lonesome Texas sun was setting slow, and in the rearview mirror I watched it go. I can still see the wind in her golden hair. I close my eyes for a moment, I'm still there.
And now, from the bluest eyes to a whole rainbow of colors. This is the first exhibit in the Sharks and Coral Reef, one of the most technologically sophisticated aquariums ever built. These beauties behind me are square-backed anthias, bright pink with a beautiful purple square on their side, sort of the punk rockers of the fish world. This coral reef may look real, but it's handcrafted. This huge panel weighs 11 tons. It's 30 feet long and 20 feet high. No aquarium in the world has them bigger than this. This is the fourth exhibit in the Sharks and Coral Reef. Now, there's some very interesting fellows in here, juvenile sharks and rays. Now, some of the sharks will graduate into the large shark exhibit in the next room, while the beautiful rays, the ones that look like underwater hang gliders, will stay right here. You know, my friend George Strait is one Texan who was really surprised to hear that these sharks have only been in San Antonio a couple of months, because he thought they'd been here in Texas for a long, long time.
I'd dearly love to be, but all my exes live in Texas, and that's why I hang my hat in Tennessee. Rosanna down in Texarkana wanted me to push her breast. Sweet Eileen and Abilene, she forgot I hung the moon. And Allison in Galveston somehow lost her sanity. And Dimples, who now lives in Temple's, got the law looking for me. All my exes live in Texas, and Texas is a place I'd dearly love to be. But all my exes live in Texas, and that's why I hang my hat in Tennessee. Remember that old Frio River where I learned to swim, but it brings to mind another time where I wore my welcome thin. By transcendental meditation, I go there each night, but I always come back to myself long before daylight. Texas, and Texas is a place I'd dearly love to be. But all my exes live in Texas, and therefore I reside in Tennessee. Some folks think I'm hiding. It's been rumored that I died, but I'm alive and well in Tennessee.
Hello, I'm Freddie Fender, also known as Valdemar Huerta from San Benito, Texas. And I'm about to make my 11th tour of Australia. You know, the first time I went to Australia, a friend took me out to the bush country. I saw these animals hopping around all over the place. He kept calling them kangaroos or something. I didn't want to make him feel bad, but anyone from Texas knows it was just a herd of regular-sized Texas grasshoppers. Speaking Tejano, this is Freddie Fender.
Coming up, Dennis Weaver shows us some exciting sea animal rescues, and Patrick Duffy meets some beautiful doncellas.
sparkling treat. You've never seen anything like this. Hey, we sparkle. We're new sparkle cracks for kids. We taste cool and we sparkle if you show you the way. Give us a try and we'll sparkle up your day. Now you love to brush your teeth before you go to school. Sparkle cracks for kids make bright and cool. With sparkle, a real cool taste is sparkle. Sparkle cracks for kids, sparkle so much. It'll make you rock the brush.
Do your hands look as young as your face? If they do dishes, they may not. But they could, with a very special ivory liquid. It's new, and it could help your hands look younger in just a week. Starting today, where hands are rough, ivory suds could begin to smooth them, help them feel a little softer, look a little younger, more like your face. So get started with new ivory today, and younger-looking hands could be just a week away.
Introducing a light potato chip with a country fresh flavor. New Pringles Light Ranch. And guess what it's missing?
A lot of the fat in their regular potato chips. But you'll never miss it.
And it's missing a lot of their salt. But you won't miss it.
New Pringles Light Ranch, made with sour cream, buttermilk, and herbs for so much country fresh flavor.
You'll never miss what's missing.
Here on Warren Davis's farm, they believe that fresh ingredients give you better taste. Well, Kraft sure buys that. So Kraft buys all of Warren's eggs. They go straight into Kraft Real Mayonnaise, along with the juice from sun-ripened lemons and select spices. Know why we go to all this trouble? Simple. Kraft knows when you start fresh, it tastes better. Kraft Real Mayonnaise, because fresh tastes better. You know it.
Two families trying to become one. A lonely veteran, afraid to go home.
Did you get wounded?
Not that way.
Tom Wopat and Susan Hubley in Blue Skies, Monday. Monday.
Happy birthday, dear Stephanie.
Stephanie is getting older, but is she getting better?
If I keep getting older like this, where will I be? In a home for people whose arms do this?
And when a little skinhead plays both sides against the middle, there will be hell to pay on Eisenhower and Lutz, Monday.
Welcome back to SeaWorld's All-Star Lone Star Celebration. You know, in addition to the entertaining shows and exhibits here, there are some vital research, education, and animal rescue activities.
Did you know that a penguin can spend a couple of weeks at sea, come back, and still miraculously find its mate and chicks in the middle of their territory, which is in the middle of a colony of 1 million tightly packed friends? How do they do it? Well, scientists come here to study little mysteries like this, or mysteries like the communication abilities of marine mammals, those strange squeaks and whistles. Nobody really knows what they mean, how to translate these oddly beautiful sounds into human terms. At the SeaWorld Research Institute, it has been determined that killer whales off the coast of Greenland may vocalize in a dialect quite different from killer whales near Alaska. Resources are frequently lent to assist the rescue of beached or injured animals off the coast of Southern California, Florida, and very soon off the Texas Gulf Coast. In California, frequent victims of the spring storms are sea lion pups who become separated from their mothers. During one stormy winter several years ago, more than 500 calls to assist beach animals were handled. In Florida, the animal care staff has picked up injured manatees and nursed them back to health, while recuperating their valuable subjects for observation and study. When the animals are well enough to fend for themselves, they're usually returned to their natural habitat. Over 2 million school children have participated in SeaWorld's marine life classes over the years. It's nice to know this knowledge will be passed on to future generations. And there's still a place where laughing and learning go hand in hand.
These beautiful young ladies are doncellas, who grace Cypress Gardens West. Now, I'm smart enough to guess that doncellas are part of the Hispanic culture of San Antonio. But what exactly is a doncella?
A doncella is a Spanish maiden from an aristocratic family in the 18th and 19th centuries, and they're all very beautiful women.
Marie, if they had them there, you would be Utah's first doncella.
You say you're down on trying. You say dreams just don't come true. And you just lost somebody, the only one for you. And you're so broken-hearted, you don't know what to do. You ask me how I know this. I used to be like you. It's been a year and a cold December, feeling lost and out of place. But now it's gone and I can't remember. Feeling's gone without a trace. Right now you're not looking for love from anyone. You say that you're still hurting, it wouldn't be much fun. But lonely hearts keep changing, and someday you'll find what's tearing up your broken heart, what's seldom cross your mind. Been a year and a cold December, feeling lost and out of place. But now it's gone and I can't remember. Feeling's gone without a trace. You start soaring as the weight of what you're feeling is all gone. It's been a year and a cold December, feeling lost and out of place. But now it's gone and I can't remember. Feeling's gone without a trace. Everything is back in place.
Stay with us for our exciting This Land Is Your Land finale when SeaWorld's All-Star Lone Star Celebration returns.
My new tub made of fiberglass was installed by men made mostly of dirt.
Using a liquid cleanser?
I guess I have to.
Bet you'd like to use Comet.
I love to use Comet. But see this label? Abrasives may scratch.
But this label says safe as a liquid.
I wouldn't bet on it.
I would. Today's Comet has no harsh abrasives, so it's safe, it's tough.
It's beautiful.
Today's Comet, regular or lemon fresh. Safe as a liquid, tough as Comet.
It has no inks. It has no perfumes. It's all Bounce. Bounce Free is here.
Zestfully clean.
Soap leaves a sticky film on you that won't rinse away, but Zest rinses you fully clean.
Zestfully, zestfully, zestfully clean. You're not fully clean unless you're zestfully clean.
On Murder, She Wrote, Jessica's in the dark when feuding comedians. Quit kidding.
He's been stabbed in the back.
Buddy Hackett and Steve Lawrence Guest, Sunday at 8.
For 10 years, she was a prisoner of war.
There's a cage over there that I used to live in.
For 10 years, he was rebuilding his life.
So, doctor, do I get undressed?
10 years is a long time.
Are you in love with her?
Maybe too long.
Jeff. No. Let me have some time.
Because time didn't stand still.
I love you.
And the pain can't be forgotten. Terry Garr, Stacy Keach, and Kathy Lee Crosby, torn by time, they're intimate strangers, Sunday.
Tuesday.
I'm taking you back to Africa with me.
Come on the adventure of a lifetime.
to a land of intrigue and mystery.
It's not safe here.
A debt must be paid.
Share one family's wondrous odyssey. Experience their danger and their triumphs. My Africa, this Tuesday on the CBS Summer Playhouse.
As you've heard tonight, everything in Texas is big, including our thanks to all our friends, old and new, who helped make this show so exciting and so enjoyable.
And those friends include our stars, all the performers and staff of SeaWorld, the mayor and city of San Antonio, and the Lone Star State of Texas.
We've talked a lot about Texas tonight, but now it's time to talk about the rest of the country. And this is a good place to start, the map of the United States. With the help of Trini Lopez, we're here to tell you this land is your land.
This land is your land. This land is my land. From California to the New York Island. From the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream water. This land was made for you and me. As I went walking that river highway, I saw above me and in the skyway I saw below me her golden valleys. This land was made for you and me. Hey, this land is your land. Hey, this land is my land. From California to the New York Island. From the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream water. This land was made for you and me. I drove them rambles and I followed her footsteps to the sparkling center of her diamond desert. And all around me, her voice kept sounding. This land was made for you and me. This land is your land. Sing it out. This land is my land. Hey, hey. From California to the New York Island. From the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream water. This land was made for you and me. This land is your land. This land is my land. From California to the New York Island. From the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream water. This land was made for you and me. One more time. This land is your land. This land is my land. From California to the New York Island. From the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream water. This land was made for you. This land was made for me. This land was made for you and me. This land is your land. A wonderful song and a moving statement about our country. But I'd like to recall the words of another patriotic song. America, America, God shed his grace on thee and crown thy good with brotherhood from sea to shining sea. You know, the shining seas are as much a part of our country as, well, as the state of Texas. Let's try to keep them shining as brightly as the 50 stars in our flag. Good night. Good night, everybody. Good
Tomorrow on
on CBS Sports, it's the Detroit Grand Prix live at 1 p.m. Eastern. Then the NBA Finals returns to the Forum as the Pistons battle the Lakers in Game 6 tomorrow on CBS.